Hey everybody, this is Doc Russ, and I want to tell everyone how much I appreciate their support for my Long Island paddle. Now, I've raised over $1,500 so far, and I'm sure that there'll be more donations coming in during the paddle and even after. I want to remind everybody that I'm leaving on Wednesday at 5 a.m. from Montauk, and that I'll be posting video blogs all along the way. So if you donated, please keep track at longislandpaddle.com or on my Facebook page. Thank you very much, and have a terrific day. Hi, this is Doc Russ with installment 2 of Paddle Around Long Island blog. Now, I was going to leave tomorrow, but we've got a pretty nasty storm coming through, and it's going to be picking up a lot worse than it is right now. We're going to get a lot of rain, a lot of wind. So I'm going to be leaving, instead of on Wednesday, I'm going to be leaving Thursday morning from Montauk to paddle back west to Shinnecock Inlet. Now, once I get to Shinnecock Inlet, I should be okay because I'm going to head into the bays and be in protected waters, more or less. But I still have Hurricane Leslie to deal with. So it's going to be an exciting trip, one way or the other. Listen, thank you very much for your support, and thanks for looking in on these videos. And you're going to hear from me, hopefully. So thanks again, and we'll talk. Well, good morning, and welcome to day 2 of the Long Island paddle. Yesterday was a little rough. I left from Montauk, and the first thing I hit was a big, 10-foot breaker, and went right under the water, came up the other side, but my hat was gone, and all of my electronics and supplies on the deck had been rearranged. And since the sea was so rough, I couldn't even stop and put everything back, so I just threw it all up on the deck and kept paddling. It wasn't but maybe a half an hour later that this dorsal fin pops up right next to me. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't care. I just needed to get out of there. So I kept paddling for the next 3 hours, battling maybe 16, 20-foot seas. I don't know. All I know is I was looking at walls of water, like mountains. And after about 3 hours, I started to get seasick, and I started looking at the beach and saying, I got to take a rest. So I paddled into the beach and got pummeled in the surf. The boat and I had separated. I rolled up on the beach, spent a little bit too much time underwater, finally got myself situated, collected my gear, and literally was walking half a mile down the beach to collect stuff yesterday. Laid down on the beach and just fell asleep, and called my shore support. They came and got me, and we made the command decision to go directly north, hop into the bays, and finish the trip there. So I finished day 1, maybe about half in the ocean and half in Peconic Bays, came through Shinnecock Canal, and now I'm ready to finish the day from Shinnecock Inlet all the way to Smiths Point Park. Looks like it's going to be a really good day, kind of humid, but I will not be in the ocean, except for, right now I'm in the ocean. So thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, he dropped nearly 200 pounds, and now a CUTCHOGUE man is kayaking around the island. His journey aimed at inspiring others who are struggling with their weight. News 12 Long Island's Ken GRIMBALL has a story you will see only on 12.
And miles to go before he sleeps. Dr. Russ is cutting through the water in WESTHAMPTON in the second day of his trip. His goal is to kayak 275 miles around Long Island in hopes of raising awareness that people can break through chains and to raise funds for the American Diabetes Association. He started in Montauk.
10 years ago, well, a little bit more than 10 years ago, I weighed over 410 pounds. And I had what was called pre-diabetes, which is just like having diabetes, except at that point, you can do a lot to completely reverse the disease.
The doctor of physical therapy is proud that he lost more than 200 pounds 10 years ago. He has kept the weight off. He's 6'1" and now weighs just over 200 pounds, half the man he used to be.
I'm just an ordinary guy. And through a series of little steps, I lost 10 pounds at a time. And I started kayaking literally just 20 minutes. And it's turned into now days and hours.
Karen Hurst is his support staff. Her job is to carry the water and supplies.
It's amazing what human beings can do when they quote-unquote put their mind to it.
Dr. Lahamadou has a long way to go on this trip. He's expecting to wind it all up in Montauk on September 15th. In Westhampton, Ken Grimball, News 12, Long Island.
That is amazing, yeah.
It is impressive. Now, you can track the doctor's trip around Long Island. Just go to our website, news12.com, click on numbers and links.
Yeah, very.
Good morning, Long Island. It's day 3 of the Long Island paddle. Made it here to Smith's Point yesterday, and today I'm going to go from Smith's Point to Jones Beach. But I have a little problem. The wind is supposed to kick up really, really heavy today, almost 20 miles an hour or better, right on my face. And after that, we're going to have some massive thunderstorms. So what's going to happen is I'm going to paddle as far as I can today, and then as soon as the storms hit, I'm going to hunker down on a beach, and then we'll start the whole thing again tomorrow. Thank you very much for your support, and have an awesome day. Well, it's about 11:30, and I've already kayaked from Smith's Point Park to the Fire Island Lighthouse. I don't know how much further I'm going to get today because a huge storm with winds up to 30 miles an hour and hail apparently. So I'm going to stop here and sort of get an idea of how much further I need to go and how much longer it's going to take me, and get an eye on the weather. But right now it's a beautiful day. The wind's blowing pretty hard, but I'm going to go take a look at the lighthouse. Hi, this is Doc Russ. I'm actually... Russ, day 3 of the Long Island paddle, and we're done for the day. We're here at Jones Beach State Park. We're going to take the boat out of the water, and I'm glad to do it today because let me tell you, the winds were insane. They must be blowing at least 20 by now. And to be honest with you, just to keep it straight, I had to keep the rudder all the way to the right. So I'm happy to be back on land, and thank you once again for your support. Well, this is Doc Russ, and this is day 4 of the paddle. I made it all the way to Rockaway. I got about 10 more miles to go. I'm going to try to make Coney Island tonight. It was a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful. There was nothing against me. The tide was with me, the wind was with me. It was just gorgeous. So I hope the day ends up the way it started. And once again, I want to thank you for your support. Good morning and welcome to day 5 of the Long Island paddle. Behind me is the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. And the weather, not exactly cooperating today. We got a strong north wind, which means I'm going to be paddling directly into the wind on the way through the Narrows, which is exactly maybe how I didn't want to do it. But once I get up into the East River, things should be a little bit nicer. I hope I planned the tide right. I've looked it over and over and over again. So it's going to be an exciting day. We're going to be back on Long Island. We're going to be back on the north shore of Long Island tonight, somewhere around Sands Point. So thank you very much for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, I learned another lesson in perseverance today. This wind has been kicking me in the face all day long. From the Verrazano Narrows, right up the East River, and through the Frog's Neck, and right here to Kings Point. So I finished another day. I'm happy to be on land, and I'm tired of facing the wind. Thank you very much for your support. Good morning and welcome to day 6 of the Long Island paddle. It's going to be a good day. The wind's still coming out of the north at about 5, which is a lot less than yesterday. Hopefully it's going to clock around to southwest by the afternoon, which would be much better for me paddling and on the way to Port Jefferson. Yesterday, I'm not going to lie, was a tough day. The wind was blowing hard, as much as 20 miles an hour, and when you're coming up the East River, it's literally like somebody was blowing through a straw and I was trying to kayak up the other end. The commercial traffic was interesting and sometimes a little dangerous. I hit one tug, was casting such a wake that had actually turned the boat and started to push me into some pilings, and I was able to get through the pilings and come up around the other side, which was great. It was difficult because between the commercial traffic and the rough seas, it made navigating somewhat challenging. It was a good day though, a hard day. I got to the Whitestone Bridge and frankly I was exhausted. I pulled up there and I thought maybe I could just live here for the rest of my life. It wasn't too long though before I was able to rest. I looked out at the water and I was able to face the waves and the wind again. And in a couple hours I was where I was supposed to be. So we're looking to be in Port Jeff this evening. Thank you very much for your support and have an awesome day. Hey, hello again and welcome back to day 6 of the Long Island Paddle. I paddled for about 3 hours and decided it was time to take a rest here at Oyster Bay, where I found a secluded little cove out of the wind, a perfect place for a little rest. But soon I'm going to get back on the water and start paddling again. So once again, thank you for your support, and I'll see you in Port Jefferson tonight.
Hi and welcome to day 7 of the Long Island Paddle. We're here in Port Jefferson and I'm about to get on the water again and go to Montauk, New York. It was a rough day yesterday to start. The wind was again from the north. It was quite breezy, but about halfway through the day the wind calmed down and clocked around to the southwest, which was perfect for the rest of the journey. Everything is good. I had a little muscle soreness last night, but that got worked out and now I'm on the road again. Thank you very much for your support. I'll see you in Montauk.
Well, day 7 of the Long Island Paddle is over. I am sitting here on the beach in Montauk after 7 continuous hours of paddling covering over 30 miles from Port Jefferson to here. I'm glad it's over. It was actually a very good day. The day started with no wind and I had the current with me, and then I got a little bit of wind in the afternoon and I got off the water just in time because the wind's just starting to pick up now. So we're going to start from here tomorrow and we're going to make it all the way to Orient. Thank you once again for your support. Good morning and welcome to day 8 of the Long Island Paddle. I'm here in Montauk ready to go. We did a little maintenance last night. We pulled in, we had a huge crack in the hull of the kayak. So I had to go and do some fiberglass work. It looks like it's cured up just fine. We also sent somebody out to get a new pair of gloves because I wore out the old pair. Alright, so today we're going to end up in Orient, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you once again for your support. Well, it's just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm at Orient Point. And I was feeling pretty good, and I thought maybe I'd go all the way to Montauk today, and then my right rudder cable broke. So now I got to take a couple hours and get that thing fixed before I can decide whether I'm going to go on to Montauk. So I may just stick to the plan and go tomorrow morning, and then again I may see what the tides are doing and go tonight. So once again, the Long Island Paddle is almost over. 270 miles of straight paddling, well not straight, but 270 miles of paddling, and in now 8 days. Okay, so I don't know if I'm in frame or not, but this is the final day of the Long Island Paddle. It's a beautiful day. It's sunrise here at Orient. I'm heading off to Montauk Point right now, and actually I should be there before lunchtime. This is going to be an amazing day, and this has been an amazing trip. I want to thank everyone for their support. In the last 8.5 days, I've paddled over 270 miles, and in about 10 minutes I'm going to land this boat on exactly the same piece of sand I started, and that's going to end the Long Island Paddle. Thank you once again for your support. It has been one heck of an adventure. Well, here she lays up on the beach at Montauk. And for those of you who are interested to see the size of the patch, That's the crack that developed a few days ago, and that's the rather unattractive patch that held water for the rest of the trip. Go ahead. So I committed to paddle around Long Island in 10 days or less, and in 8.5 days I stand on the same piece of sand that I stood on when I took off. It was an incredible journey, and I learned an incredible amount. This morning was an awesome paddle. Paddled against the tide for about half of it, and then had the tide for the rest of it. I want to thank everyone for their support, and I'm glad to be back home here in Montauk. Oh, thank you.